actors lie about their age, but acting companies don't. They're very proud of being 40 years old. And so am I.
John Houseman started several theatre companies, and none of them really lasted more than a year or 2 or 3 at the very most. And on his 10th anniversary of the company, he proclaimed what an extraordinary event it was that it had lasted this long. And I just wonder what he would think today, looking at the company having existed for 40 years.
I mean, I think the acting company is really a wondrous thing. When you consider that in 40 years they've put out at least 2 generations of artists.
The great thing about, of course, the acting company is the opportunities for actors to emerge. Jeffrey Wright was in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and he played Puck, not your typical casting for the part. And the acting company does that. It takes actors who may or may not be right for certain roles and allows them the chance to test out their skills on more challenging parts. And Jeffrey was really, really brilliant in that part and very moving. By the time we finished that production, he had grown into a stage star.
And if you look at the roster of actors who've been in, with the acting company, you can see that it's really created a terrific pool of talent for the American theater.
I think just now I had finished working at the Guthrie, and there were 4 generations of acting company members that I just finished working with in one play.
Here at the Guthrie, we've had the great pleasure of beginning a relationship with the acting company, which I hope will go on for a very long time. And the importance of our work and the work of the acting company together has made a real impact here in the Guthrie Theatre.
I have used a lot of actors from the acting company in my own companies, and for that I'm extremely grateful.
We're always looking for actors who know how to do what they're supposed to know how to do when it comes to preparing to play a certain role. And without that practice, and they've got to find the practice somewhere, how can they possibly know? You don't learn that in drama school. You only learn it by doing. And the doing is provided by the acting company for young actors who otherwise would never have the opportunity.
The 4 years I spent with the acting company had a profound effect on my learning and on my honing of my quote-unquote craft.
You don't get this opportunity in this business industry to do rep, to visit this many types of varied venues.
I was in different cities, different theaters every night. Some nights we had a set, some nights we had some of our set, some nights we had no set. And I mean, it's a form of greasing your chops that you just can't get.
That has been a fantastic thing, to be able to have that experience out on the road, on the bus, in those places, in some 6,000 seat theaters and 200 seat theaters.
I can safely say that I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for the acting company.
The work that I did on vocal technique and production with the company started some significant things for me. I met Liz Smith. She took me on a gauntlet of vocal work and lessons that put me on a whole other level.
I could have been a terrific waiter, I think. But thanks to the acting company, I'm sort of stuck in this profession.
A lot of young people who come out with these big ideas, and I think they're afraid to take jobs and go out on the road or do regional theater, and so they stick around New York waiting for that big break when there's nothing like experience.
We all never really graduated from Juilliard. We just segued into the acting company.
I graduated, and months later I was in rehearsals for 2 shows.
I got 9 months of Romeo, which is more than any young actor deserves to have.
When you go to a training program like Juilliard, you really are trained within an inch of your life, you know? When they're done with their training and you put them in a company and you put a great play in their hands and then you put them on a bus, and then all of America benefits from that, you know?
There was a fair amount of the country had never seen, ever, live theater, and I think we take that for granted a little bit being here in New York.
The acting company, more than any other group I know that is touring, is actually creating audiences all around the country for theater, and we need audiences.
You encounter people who are so grateful, and in some instances you feel like the whole town has come out to see the show.
It's amazing to play Shakespeare to all of those different people from all these different backgrounds, and to find the things that, you know, unite them across. Everyone loves the nurse. No matter where she plays, everyone is going to love that foul-mouthed nurse.
It wasn't only just this crazy temporal bus and truck tour. It was something that became much, much more permanently involved in all of our lives. I keep going back to Margot because she helped me in innumerable ways in my professional career beyond the acting company.
When you meet Margot and when you work under her supervision and her guidance, you feel like you're reaching back to a time in the American classical theater in which the dedication to text, to language, to performance were at its pinnacle.
She's been able to keep this amazing tradition that John Houseman started through the Juilliard Drama Division. She's been able to keep that going with that kind of spirit and that tenaciousness.
But it's also her complete dedication to professionalism and nurturing young artists with a lot of talent and giving them opportunity that they might not normally get.
This collection of temperamental, talented, interesting, strange, egomaniacal actors at the beginning of their career, trying to carve out an identity, all of this got subsumed on opening night of whatever play we were putting on by a feeling that there was something greater than even our own egos.
And I feel like I fell deeply, madly in love with the power of theater because of the acting company.
It really ensures that that there's a place for young actors to continue to develop tools that are necessary to tell the big important stories that have been important stories for ages. And a lot of terrific actors just don't have that training and they don't have that stamina. And you don't want those stories not to be able to be told because they do matter. Hamlet will always matter.
I so believe in what this company does and in the theater and what they do to bring the theater to people around the country and to younger people.
I'm extremely thrilled to see how much the emphasis on the acting company now is in doing workshops, going into the schools, bringing student audiences.
In the afternoon before our show, we would teach classes at a high school or a college or even just in a community center. And then they would come and see the show that night.
Michelle? All right, my share it.
Again, if you don't do that, you don't have an audience either, and you don't have an intelligent audience in a way. So you're both giving them a theatrical experience, but you're also getting them to understand the art of theater, the relationship between actors and audience, and we need those young people to keep the theater alive.
It's so wonderful, but it's hard to keep it going, you know? And the arts across the country are under tremendous siege from the economy. And there's still people who want to give and who support how rich that makes your life.
I want to wish a big happy birthday to the acting company, 40 years old.
To the acting company, I love you so much and happy, happy, happy 40th anniversary. Mwah.
Happy 40th.
Happy 40th acting company.
Happy 40th to the acting company.
Happy 40th.
All my love.
Happy 40th acting company.
40 more years.
Happy 40th acting company.
Happy 40th anniversary, acting company.
And many more.
I'm so glad you're here and so glad I got to go along for the ride.
Thank you.
Thank you.